Time for another vlog regarding the criminal offence of perverting the course of justice by the perverted court administrators worldwide. These are Luciferian indoctrinated, religious, demonic, paedophile protectors, and majority are paedophiles. Big molesters, transgressors, and thieves, criminally perverting the course of justice. They've criminally perverted the course of justice with me on many occasions, and now there's plenty of them personally and individually liable for Judgment Day. They'll have to answer on Judgment Day. So I've advised them on many occasions, all the councillors, all the courts, administrative staff, all the policemen, all the fraudsters. I've advised them how to settle all balances. They refuse to recognise the law. They refuse to recognise any forms of laws. I've advised these demonic Freemasons, paedophile protectors. I carry the Holy Bible. I travel in biblical laws. They fail to recognise even the Holy Bible laws. Be aware, under Christian law, all taxes are forbidden and illegal. Be aware of this, all Christians and all followers of all faiths. Many religions have no tax imposed on them. They're not allowed to actually pay tax. It's illegal and forbidden. But if you don't pay the so-called old balance, you'll be threatened with prison and threatened to be put inside prison for a very long time. But be aware, there has to be a live injury for a law to actually be violated and broken and breached. There has to be a form of live injury, for example, a man or a woman or even an animal. This is where a law is violated. Council Tax Act, Road Traffic Act, Television License Act, these are just statutory acts, statutory policies, and statutory rules. Molesting with your human rights and all forms of laws. They have to molest and transgress to enforce these acts and violate and breach your human rights law, causing breach of personal liberty, breach of personal rights, breach of human rights law with me on many occasions. So please also view the vlog where I've uploaded entitled Affidavit Statement of Truth being sent to the courts will be internally covered up. If you view the vlog, you'll have an understanding of what's actually going on in this tyrannical, transgressing, perverted courts run by perverted administrators worldwide. You can also listen and hear where I've made and established the link of Jimmy Savile, the big high-end demonic paedophile, Lord Jenner, the high-end demonic paedophile, Rolf Harris, who was also a Freemason and a demonic paedophile, and the ex-Prime Minister of England, who were all Freemasons and paedophiles, having connections to the same lodges worldwide. Also, I've established the connection between the recently apprehended children's football coach Barry Bennell, who was sentenced to 30 years imprisonment for abusing children for up to 40 to 50 years. And the abused children could be in the range of 1,000 plus victims. So there's already 43 victims who took him to court, and they haven't received any form of compensation regarding the cover-up which was perpetrated by the police and the Freemasons for a very long time. As many members of the public community knew he was Barry Bennell, he was a Freemason, and they knew he was a paedophile, and he's a demonic incarnate devil. People were fully aware of this in the area, and they're fully aware that he's allowed to continue and molest and do these disgusting activities while pretending to be teaching young children football skills. Also listen to the vlog where I've uploaded shaming Crime Watch UK, disgracing them, where I have made the link with the help of other truth seekers. I've made the link that these are all Freemasons, and why has Crime Watch and the BBC News and all the main media refused to name and shame the Freemasons when I've made the link, and plenty of other people have made this link, that these are all high-end Freemasons being protected by the police and governments and councils. But the news media fails to name and disgrace and shame these Freemasonic fraudsters at all the lodges worldwide where they're operating these paedophile protection rackets and theft by deception rackets, and also attempted robbery with the help of the courts and the judges, as most of these high-end Freemasons are judges and high-end lawyers, etc. So you can understand how they're demonically suppressing the poor people against the human rights law worldwide. So I'll continue to make these vlogs for all the miscarriages of justice suffered worldwide, all the members of public and members of public who've had their families brutalized by the police and members of their family killed by the police, and it's been internally covered up using breach of trust, violation of trust law, breach of trust. They refuse to recognize any forms of laws to enforce statutory acts and statutory policies made with the help of the devil in Parliament. This is where they're deriving these so-called acts of Parliament and turning them and forcing them to be a law onto every man and woman, forcing them to pay the taxes, forcing them to pay a council tax act, forcing them to pay a television license act, also forcing them to pay a vehicle driver and a road traffic act any fines. All their fines are illegal and unlawful. Even when you have been fined, the balance can still be settled lawfully. But they refuse to recognize this because they're all demon worshippers. I've apprehended many of them on many occasions and civilly arrested them immediately, filing charges for violation of trust law, breach of trust, also common law offences of corruption, attempting to pervert the course of justice, perjury, attempted murder, and all other common law offences, very serious criminal offences, which keep on getting covered up by these molesting, perverted court administrators in these so-called courts, even with the help of their court transcribers, the molesters. They will refuse to recognize you as an injured party, and you now need to be paid damages and some of compensation for remedy. They'll refuse to recognize this. They'll refuse to recognize the traditions, principles, and customs of the common law, which is no harm, injury, or loss to man or woman. And there has to be an injured party for actual law to be violated, not for a statutory act of Parliament to become a law for a fraudulent money-making commercial fraudulent scam. So, as I was informed on the previous vlogs, this tyranny, transgression, and pestilence on the land worldwide, this severe, disgusting, disgraceful pestilence and disease and plague of pedophilia and ritual pedophiles and ritual murders being covered up by these satanic courts will end when our voices reach up to the heavens. Holy Jesus will return, ending all tyranny and transgression. And then the Holy Bible laws and the common law and the law of the land, the true ancient hidden law of the land, will be restored, God willing. End of vlog.